Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 240 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news, as well as we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my fellow Berserkers.
My name is Craig. The way you said 240 sounded very great. I don't know. That pumped me up for the episode number.
240. My name is also Craig. Are we really that 240 episodes?
Yeah, and plus a couple extra because we do some special one-off spoiler casts. So just officially 240 of the episodic series, if you will, of this podcast.
Ooh, that's a good word.
What always makes every episodic version of this podcast is the news every week.
Sure.
So it does. So news this week, and I've got a couple little bit going on here. We have Dragon Age: The Veilguard, as we kind of mentioned, the failure that it was, the game of the year for High Sensitivity Podcast, and they are laying off / shifting gears as they try to develop Mass Effect 5, and some have been laid off, some have been moved to other positions to work on the new Mass Effect. I'm getting from, at least from Bioware and from Ubisoft as well, or no, they're EA, kind of the same feeling where I know EA is always going to have money because they always sell games like Madden, EA College Sports, and things like that. But you have a feeling along with the creators of Mass Effect and Ubisoft, if Mass Effect 5 fails, we're probably going to be looking at BioWare just dissolving and not being a studio anymore. But how do you guys feel about, like, we have a couple studios that we've grown up on and we know that are kind of now all of a sudden really, really struggling?
I understand that while there are some core concepts that make up the gaming industry that is successful, that there's always you have to adapt and you have to find new ways to engage the public. Now, what's funny about Veilguard is we really didn't have many negative things to say as three gamers on this podcast, but the larger landscape, at least in some of the stuff that we were reporting on this podcast, is that it wasn't necessarily attuned to the Dragon Age main core base of fans, and I don't know, like I don't create games, I just play them, but I can understand the struggle of trying to find something that's new and inventive while still also maintaining something that's successful. And the studios are under, well, particularly the creators are under constant pressure from the studios, usually short timelines, maybe creative differences that they have to adhere to, like maybe against what they were trying to go with the game. But it's weird seeing some of these studios, like mainstay studios, really starting to struggle and cripple down. Besides Ubisoft, because they blatantly show their mistakes off versus others.
Yeah, it just seems pretty like, I wouldn't say I'm numb to it, but it just happens so often now that I'm just kind of like, yep, there's another one. Crazy. Love that game, and hopefully they, some of them are still there, but the ones who aren't, hopefully they can go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. And then I've got a couple of smaller ones that I'd like just to breeze through real quick. DMCA Takedown has been issued for the Bloodborne 60 FPS mod on computer. Makes you think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The time is now.
In a mix of gaming and anime in the perfect sequence here, Devil May Cry anime opening was shown off with a Limp Bizkit song as the background.
Okay.
Have you guys watched that or no?
No, I have not.
I haven't.
You guys should. It's very much on brand. I think you guys would like it. We have Forza 5 coming to PS5 in spring. Wouldn't it be crazy if that game ran better on the PS5 Pro or something like that? Wouldn't that be?
That would be weird.
Yeah, that would be.
But that's the first sign of, I think, many, as of
right.
PlayStation really doesn't have a street racing exclusive. We do have Need for Speed, which we haven't gotten in a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
And we just got Gran Turismo, which is more of a different type of racing game. So it's nice to see street racing, and those type of games make their way over to the PS5 as Xbox exclusives. We then have Summer Game Fest returning on June 6th, and Hideki Nishio is to become president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment as of April 1st, which feels like a weird April Fool's joke, but it's not. Multiversus is done after this season. You will still be able to play online, but even after the reboot, it does not matter. People are not going to play your game.
They don't care. Did we play that? Did any of us play that?
No,
I didn't.
No, but didn't it follow like a weird timeline? Did it released on early access, which
Yep.
a lot of people like to do, obviously for feedback and such like that, and it was super popular when it was in early access, and then they shut it down, I think, to work on the feedback.
Yep.
And by that point, everybody had moved on, so it came back, and everybody's kind of like, multi what?
Yeah.
Um,
It was well received at first.
It was.
I remember. Not enough for me to want to play it, but
Yeah, I mean, every content creator I was watching was playing that when it came out, for a couple of months, or maybe at least a month.
And then I have one other news story, but it more or less, I know Craig knows more probably about this than I do, so I will let you guys get into your news. I'm talking about the studio related to Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, yeah, I have that on here. Yep.
Then away you go.
All right, I'll start with that one then. Midnight Society is canceling the game, shutting down the studio. I think we all saw this coming. I would say that I was never really that interested in the game. To me, it looked kind of boring. In a vertical extraction shooter is what they called it. It just was not hooking me. But once they kicked him out, rightfully so, there really wasn't anything holding anybody to that game anymore. He was, for good or bad, he was the glue of that game. He was the face, the name. The art style is based off of his style. So for them to come out this week, and it was actually the same day that he got remonetized on YouTube, is the day they came out and canceled the game and closed the studio. I don't know if you guys saw the clip, but he did comment on it. Dr. Disrespect did. Now that they're closed, he said he could talk about it. And again, went into the statement that they put out when they kicked him out. He did not approve, basically. And he's still sticking to the fact that he was never charged with anything. So take what you will with that. I believe he settled out of court, I think. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't think it's a big loss. I don't think anybody was really like, oh man, I was looking forward to that game. I know I wasn't. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not like his name was attached to the upcoming Wolverine game or something,
Yeah. Other news, MLB The Show 25 not coming to Game Pass this year thanks to Sony. Interesting in a year where Xbox is like, hey, we're going to put out a bunch of games on PlayStation. PlayStation's like, no, you can't have MLB anymore. Kind of weird, right? At least on Game Pass. I'm assuming it's still releasing on Xbox though.
Yes? Yeah, it still is.
Yeah.
It still is. It only makes sense, to be honest. Like they did this because they wanted MLB The Show to gain popularity on Xbox, so it was available on Game Pass. And Sony received a substantial amount of money to do so. Mm-hmm. And now that they are a couple of years removed from it being on Xbox, they are now going to make Xbox players also pay money for that game. This is also, I think, the first one that is actually not cross-platform. Mm-hmm. So this is a next-gen exclusive one.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. We'll see if there's a jump. We will see.
Interesting enough, though, I wanted to ask you, Barry, because I know you and I both played. Craig, you don't play MLB The Show, right?
Okay. No, I don't.
So I've played it the past couple of years because it was on Game Pass. I'm not buying it. Are you still going to buy it?
I need to see what the differences are. They need to do a couple things with Road to the Show and GM and franchise. Like they do need to streamline that a lot better. It hasn't received an update in a while, and I know the main thing is everybody's like Diamond Dynasty. Everyone loves the stupid Ultimate Team version of the games. I just wish they'd stop, to be honest.
It's a moneymaker, though.
Yeah, it is.
I just never I would download it every year because it was on Game Pass, and I would put a lot of time into it, but I don't care enough to spend $70 on that thing. There's no way. Mm-hmm. Other random news that kind of came out of nowhere, but if you're interested, The Sims 1 and 2 is on Steam. That came out of nowhere. Not a remaster. Let me say that.
Okay.
But EA put it out because it was very difficult to get Sims 1 and 2 running on modern PCs. So this is a re-release, so it works with modern PCs. So I believe Sims 2 is $24.99, and it comes with all the expansion packs, I think. And then
Okay.
Sims 1 is $19.99.
Hmm.
So if you want, I don't quote me, I may be wrong on that, but it may be the other way around. But anyway, if you're interested, I might actually pick up Sims 2. I love Sims 2 to death. So
Oh yeah,
having that in
that's
my
a
Steam
classic.
library, yeah, that sounds kind of good. I would have a remaster would be cool, but I don't know that I would care enough to spend like $60 on a Sims 2 remaster. I'll pay 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I got two pieces of movie news. First, Expedition 33 is getting a live action movie.
Doesn't surprise me.
Game's not even out yet. They're like, you know what? Let's make a movie, guys.
Yeah.
Can we at least let the game come out first?
What?
Like, why do we do that?
Why?
I don't know. Maybe because it's got hype behind it. I mean, we're
I
all
actually,
excited for it.
yeah, well, and I actually think the story is
Sure.
something that could be done in a live action game. You know,
Sure.
I don't know as much about like the inner workings of Expedition 33 just yet, but the theme of like a architect or whatever the artist comes out, writes an age, and everybody after that age or on that age dies.
Yep.
And you know, just an expedition trying to defy fate. So I think it actually kind of weirdly translate over to a movie quite easier than I think I would expect.
It's one thing we know. If you're making an RPG, just put fate in there somewhere and it sells well.
Yeah.
Right. They're
Somewhere.
gonna film it. It's gonna be like a combination of Lost and After Earth or something, and then they got a hit.
Yep.
Wow.
And then the second one I have, which is the one I'm really excited for, we are getting officially a Sleeping Dogs movie. And starring, produced by Simu Leo,
Mhm.
Shang-Chi, if you remember him from Marvel. He will be starring in that. I could not be more excited. Sleeping Dogs is one of my favorite games of the past couple generations of consoles. I cannot wait for that thing. I don't know if you guys played Sleeping Dogs. Barry?
I know about it, but I didn't play it.
Still worth playing today. I know there's like the definitive edition. I have it on my Xbox. I've had it for a long time. Just an extremely well done GTA style game, but a heavy emphasis on hand to hand combat. And it's just done incredibly well. Story's good. I would say check that out if you haven't. I think it might be even on PlayStation Plus. Could be wrong, but I feel like I saw it on there. But that was the only other thing I had.
All right, I have a couple more. This one just made me laugh. The NVIDIA graphics cards, the 50 graphics cards or 50 series or whatever came out this week. And it's just really interesting because obviously scalpers have already gotten their hands on it. And there's apparently listings on eBay that are $6,000 in terms of the pricing. And I feel like I'm reading that because it just it made me laugh because of like how much we complain about not being able to get some of the low, I guess, high demand, low supply items and how they turn it back around and we won't pay those prices. But $6,000, I mean, the pricing for like the 5090 is $1,999. And the fact that you'd have to spend like $4,000 more than that just to get it is crazy. But I know there's been pictures probably circling around of how everybody is camping outside of retailers and things trying to get one. So I don't know. Were you guys interested in buying those cards? I don't know if you guys.
No. I'm good for a couple of years. Barry
I'll
needs
take a
one.
hand me down. Yeah, I do need one. I'll take a hand me down for my brother and let my brother take a.
I'm rolling with a 4070, so I'm good for a while.
Oh yeah.
I got like 5 more years out of that bad boy.
Yeah, and you could even stretch that to 7 or 8.
Yeah, probably.
I also have some television news here. Beyond Two Souls, which is from the Quantic Dream the developer, and they did some adaptations like Heavy Rain. They they also did oh my god, what is it? Detroit Become Human.
Yep.
Yeah, but Beyond Two Souls is getting a TV adaptation.
That could work.
That could work. And
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting because you know what's funny? I don't know which ones you guys played, but I played Detroit, I played Heavy Rain. I didn't play Beyond Two Souls. I downloaded it.
It's a good one. William
Yeah.
Dafoe, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's William Dafoe, and also the person that's leading it is Elliot Page.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Which their company is Page Boy, which I thought was nice. I didn't know that was Elliot Page's production company, so I found that to be a great name for it. But
Mm-hmm.
Elliot Page was in it, and William Dafoe. So I think we might want to keep our eye on that one to see what's going on.
That could be cool.
I think it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the last one I have, this I guess is as close to breaking news as we can get. A couple of hours ago, Nate the Hate, who's usually great at identifying insider news and when things are going to be announced, he released something about the state of play, the PlayStation State of Play happening I think as he put it, the week of February 10th. People are circulating and trying to like narrow down dates, and what I have here is that the 5 potential dates would be the 11th, the 12th, 13th, 18th, or 19th. If we're going a little bit later past that week. So we got something from Xbox. We're waiting for the Nintendo Switch, or more on the Nintendo Switch in April. So here's our PlayStation. What are we thinking that people are going to talk about, or what's going to?
Right. Just Bloodborne.
Right. Bloodborne. I don't know. We'll probably get some Death Stranding, probably some Ghosts of Yotai, because those have 2025 release dates.
Yep.
I feel like we do this every time, but is there anything random you guys would want to see on there?
I would have said Metal Gear Solid Delta, but I think that's all coming from Microsoft, isn't it? When they announce stuff, isn't it usually under Microsoft?
I feel like the last time they announced it was at Microsoft,
Yeah.
a Microsoft event.
Boy.
I don't know. I have to know more about what Bungie's been working on. Like we got one little really weird trailer, and you see Sony canceling all of their live action games left and right now. So what is Bungie making? Because it's probably another live, what are they called again? Like the live action games or live platform?
Live service.
Live
service games. So yeah, we see Sony canceling them, but I imagine that's what they had Bungie working on.
Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't heard from Bungie in a while, so
we haven't.
Do you think it's time to show Wolverine?
Yeah.
That thing's been leaking forever.
It has been.
The builds have been leaking, so I feel like we're about due for something from that.
What's the BioShock related one we're all excited for?
Judas.
Maybe Judas gets a date. I don't know.
Yeah.
They typically have 3 state of plays every year. One around this time. I feel like one in the summer, one in like May, June,
where E3
and then one
used to be. Yep.
Right, and then one in like August to say here's what we have for the holidays coming up, August or September. So I mean, we're that's what we're expecting is probably that lineup. It's just what's being released February, March, April, May-ish.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need more games.
We do need more games after a very, very, very quiet January and then a not quiet February forward. So, but that's all I had.
All right, let's get into games this week where I have played the first Berserker Kazan demo and Ninja Gaiden 2 Black.
Okay.
Yes.
I did finish Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I played some the PS5 version of Darksiders 2. That just came out. I played the 33 Immortals beta, not to be confused with Expedition 33. So those are the 2 that I played besides Ninja Gaiden.
I've been chipping away at some of the games that we've been playing this week. I started Dark Cloud 2 after I told you about that, Craig, but I don't need to talk about that one because I didn't play a lot of it. But the main game I played this week was Eternal Strands.
Ah, yes. I played 10 minutes of that.
Speaking of games I played about 10 minutes of.
Okay.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black.
Don't say that, Barry. Don't say that.
I understand that you guys probably like this game and it has some sort of nostalgia. I do not like the combat. I am not
Why?
it is so stiff. I feel like every time he jumps, it's delayed. Like it is such a it's so strange. And I tried like 30 and to be like 10 minutes is a dramatization, but I tried 30, 45 minutes of the game and I don't know what it is. Like it feels like the lack of lock on isn't really helping me. The lack of I sometimes have no idea what's going on. Like, am I blocking or getting hit? I guess for me, I was hoping this was gonna be more like and this was my fault because it's not the same, but like Bayonetta, because I heard it platinum. And I think maybe I would try it with Ninja Gaiden 4. Maybe that's where I will jump in at because it's developed by Platinum. But Ninja Gaiden 2, I just not a big fan of the combat. I am
It takes some getting used to for sure.
It does.
The camera's rough.
Camera can.
I can't wall run. I legitimately
Really?
can't wall run. It took me 10 minutes. Like every time it's like, okay, diagonally push toward the wall and press A, he would just jump straight and fall back into into the hole. It is a little frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
trying to
that game thrives on your frustration. It really does.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember specifically the first Ninja Gaiden, and I forget his name, but the creator, when they did Ninja Gaiden Black, they made him put in like an easier mode, and he was pissed because he's like, I want you to suffer. And you can tell, like, sometimes you'll get like overwhelmed by enemies and they'll just like stun lock you so you can't do anything. And like, that's him being like, I'm just going to make you hate your life. You really do have to like take it slow. I think that's how I play it. Parry.
You do. And Barry, I definitely hear you on the wall run thing. I had a little bit of I don't know if it never frustrated me to like put it down, but it didn't feel as fluid as some other games that have the same mechanic in there. So
it's old,
but it is. Just got to make over.
Yeah, I would say try when the new one comes out because I feel like it's going to be a lot better.
I'm just like, and it can keep the same difficulty. I just want a bit more responsiveness out of the game. When I control him, it is rough. Like I can feel him behind. Like I want to do something, and he's behind what I'm doing. Especially jumping. I love to jump. Yeah. I don't know how you guys are even getting through that. He jumps a good second or 2 seconds later after I press A.
Yeah, he definitely feels top heavy. Yeah, he definitely feels top heavy when he gets to the top of his jump.
I love it.
And then, well, you guys already played it, so I'll talk about the demo for First Berserker.
Yes,
this game I am very much interested in.
Ooh.
Very much Sekiro vibes.
Yep.
I enjoy the. I just kind of I had to learn that it's not like Dark Souls where you parry and like or in like other games, like the enemies continue their combos even after you parry them.
Yep.
So it was a matter of like once I got used to that, I started to understand it a bit more. And I think my only complaint is, and maybe it gets better as we go along, the environments are kind of bland. They're kind of boring. Snowy mountain pass into a cave.
Snow.
Back into a snowy mountain pass. So it's like I kind of hope that we kind of get better, like maybe Japanese style towns and stuff like that that you get to go into and play. But as of right now, I am interested, but I may have to see a bit more before I buy
it. Barry's hoping it doesn't have the Stellar Blade problem, like the wasteland.
Just snow everywhere.
Wasteland to the great desert.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. That's something to keep an eye on. Like the game is fun.
Yeah, I have fun with it.
It is. Yeah, it's fun.
It controls well. It feels smooth. Man,
I liked it because I was never completely worried about dying before getting to the next checkpoint, but I did have to take my time when my health was getting low. Like it doesn't feel as hard yet
Right.
as like a complete Souls game, or maybe even some of the other ones we played. But I do enjoy the challenge, which was enough to entice me to keep going. So I'm interested to see. I'm also interested to see what bosses they throw out there, because
Yep.
when you have a game like that, you got to keep throwing out some good ones. So
Yep. Those games live and die by how cool your bosses look.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Darksiders 2, the Definitive Edition. I feel like this is like the 5th time this game has come out. Right? I just feel like it
Yeah.
keeps coming out. But this time on PS5, I love Darksiders 1 and 2, 3, no. But 1 and 2 are great. It's still great. Playing on PS5, my God, is it buttery smooth? It should be. That game's old, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. It's
it
a
still
PS3
looks
game.
right.
good. Yeah, I've been playing it. I was playing it on my Portal, which was nice. That's a good game just to kind of play in, short bursts or
Oh,
whatever
I
while
might
you're
try
watching
that.
something. I do believe that I read that if you have the definitive edition on PS4, you can get the PS5 version for free, I think.
Oh, okay.
So if you have it already, you should be able to just download the update. But yeah, that's a good Portal game for sure. And
Mm.
then the beta for 33 Immortals. Barry, this is a game I think you and I should jump on.
Okay.
Roguelike,
Yep.
looks and plays like Hades,
Yep.
but there's 33 people playing at a time.
Yeah.
Uh,
I remember seeing this game in
yeah, a lot of fun. There's like dungeons that open up and you can go in, and I believe it's either 6 or 8 people can go in at a time.
Mhm.
And then you just kind of do like the dungeons themselves, but same art style, which is, I love that art style to death. And then a lot of from what I could tell from the beta, it's a lot of like daily challenges, that kind of stuff, and then that affects like cosmetic, how your character looks, a lot of customization there. But I don't know, it just screams right up your alley because of your love for Hades.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is coming to Game Pass or not. I know if you're a Xbox insider that they keep doing these betas that you can just sign up for
Mhm.
if you have that the Xbox Insider on your Xbox. So I would say I'm relatively excited for this game. Hopefully, it has some legs to keep it
Mhm.
going over time. But it's kind of a cool idea. Hades with a lot of people. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good concept.
Hades with your friends. That was it.
I had a question for you. Both of you are waiting for Hades 2 to drop officially, right? Like, you're
No,
not.
I know I played the early
You,
access.
you
I
played the early access.
Yeah.
I did
I
not,
had to.
but you did.
Okay, that was what I had confused. I thought both of y'all did.
I did not.
All right, Eternal Strands. It's a game. So it came out on the 28th, I think. It's on Game Pass for those of you who want to give it a whirl. I don't know what to say about it yet in terms of whether I like it or not. I'm kind of mid.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Immortal Phoenix Rising, but like, I don't know, if you interacted with people at your base more, like when you were upgrading and things like that. So I mean, it's essentially just like a warrior who you're kind of going on this quest with like a band of I don't know what they're witches or anything like that. I haven't been really paying attention to the story, and I'll tell you why in a second. But you're exploring this area that's veiled over, and you have to continue to try to just like keep exploring the lands. It's finding new markers, things like that. The combat it's an action adventure, so you have your sword and shield, you have your arrows, things like that. One of the cool things about the game is you do control specific strands or your magic. And you to give you an example, you start off the game with like ice magic, which allows you to essentially create blocks of ice in front of you. But one of the things that they do really nice is the dynamic of the world is altered by temperature based things. So, for example, there's a lot of fire in the opening scene, which you could probably guess why. Maybe a dragon, maybe a drake. Um, but you have to cool the areas down before you can walk through them. So you have to like shoot ice at the trees that are on fire. So it makes you interact with the world a little bit more using your magic. Um, but it's nothing new. The story is I'm not dedicated to it yet, and the game tells you very early on that any conversation that you have via the talk option with your people in camp will not start, end, or adjust any missions that you have. Like it said that. So like right away at the beginning of the game, I know that essentially my dialogue won't affect anything really. I also know that my dialogue with characters that are around me will not start or end quests or really have anything to do with any quests. And the way it phrased it made me not want to talk to anybody. It was like I was like, so why am I? There's about 5 or 6 characters in this merry band of this merry group, and they kind of get you with certain personalities, like you kind of want to learn more, but like the game flat out told you at the beginning, and like maybe I took it wrong because you when you do speak to a character and there is a mission involving that character, that pops up in the dialogue area. But like I didn't like how that was phrased at the beginning. It kind of made me not want to learn anything about what I was doing,
Hmm.
you know?
Yep.
So I think it's a perfect Game Pass game, so you can give it a whirl like I did. I don't know how long I'm going to be playing it. I'm kind of just grasping at straws until
Yep.
some of these games come out in February. But Eternal Strands, it got positive reviews, so maybe I'm just an outlier. The combat is not bad, but I mean, I don't know, just not lot to write home about thus far for me. So,
Yeah, I downloaded it because again, I download like every Game Pass game and I was
Mhm.
playing it and I was like 30 minutes in, right? And I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. So I pulled out my phone and I was like, let me look up reviews, right? So when I Googled it, the first thing that came up was a Reddit post for it. So I pull up the Reddit post and literally the question in the Reddit post was, I'm 4 hours into this game. Does this game get good? And all the responses were like, I'm 2 hours in. I don't know. I'm 5 hours in. I don't know. And I literally just turned it off and uninstalled it because I was like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like when everybody's saying that, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna attempt to put in like 3 hours and be in the same boat. I just immediately stopped when I read it. I was like, nope, I'm good.
yeah, like I'm like 2.5 in, and the first open world you get to, you're kind of walking around. There's some enemies that are cool. There's one that like I don't know, is like a chameleon kind of thing. So you're kind of wondering as you're going about the world if they're going to attack you or not. But I'm in the boat as the people on that Reddit post. Like I don't
Yeah.
like does it get better? Because I'm just so mid in
Yeah.
how I feel about it.
It looks like Dragon Age. It has like the same type of like art style, which I
Mhm.
like. That's what drew me in. But nah, I'm a pass.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
good.
no for me, dog.
Fair.
All right. So then we'll talk about movies and TV shows this week.
Yep.
Where I definitely have watched probably the oldest movie out of the bunch,
Uh-oh.
When Harry Met Sally.
That's so random, but okay.
That is so random.
Just When Harry Met Sally, nothing else.
Nothing new.
This okay. All right, I have a few. TV wise, I watched first couple episodes of Paradise, and then I watched Den of Thieves 2 and Companion.
All right, the only real new thing that I watched this week is School Spirits came out with season 2, so I can kind of do my first talks on that one. But that's all I watched this week that was different.
All right.
All right. I'll be the residential old head here. I had
When
never seen
Barry
this movie.
Barry's watching girlfriend movies.
when Barry met
That
Barry.
is exactly the point. Yes,
Yep, I
that is
knew it.
exactly.
I knew
Yes.
it.
She really likes this. My girlfriend really likes
That
this movie,
screams
so I
girlfriend
decided.
movie.
Yes, so I decided to give it a shot.
Yep.
We watched it together. Interesting romance movie.
Mhm.
So much of my generation is kind of raised on rom-coms. This really isn't a comedy in any way. At least I
Mm,
didn't find anything that what Billy Crystal says sometimes is funny, but it's kind of surprising. It's like a drama romantic movie, which I don't see much of, if barely
Really?
anything. I was raised off of the Ryan Reynolds romance movies, which always have a little comedy
mm.
to them. Or Sandra Bullock in some of those movies as well. It's like a comedy romance. Uh, I like the movie. I thought it was kind of a different change of pace for me. Again, it is definitely a girlfriend movie. It's definitely something, but Valentine's Day is now less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I'm getting warmed up. Gotta get ready for the romance.
You
Is
love
that
to
the
see
start?
it.
Is that the start of like the Meg Ryan reign over
I think
romantic
so.
movies? Because she
And
had like,
You
oh, go
Got
ahead.
Mail, right?
You Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle.
Yep.
I think right, she was in that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Meg Ryan kind of dominated the late '80s and '90s in terms of roles like
She
that.
definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
glad you enjoyed it, Barry.
yeah, it was one of those things where like I didn't know who Meg Ryan really was. I knew who Carrie Fisher was. I knew who Billy
Yeah.
Crystal is. Um, but yeah, you guys mentioned that, and now I see that she's in.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot.
she's in
Yeah,
Top Gun.
She is.
yeah, she is.
Who is she in Top Gun?
The original Top Gun? Not like the new
Yeah,
Top Gun. Yeah.
yeah, the original.
Yeah,
Top
I
Gun.
mean, she was just kind of cast in literally anything and everything in the 90s.
Huh.
Anything generally romantic. I feel like Meg Ryan was involved.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
she really nailed like the quirky person
Yep.
like very well, and you could stick that in that archetype into a lot of movies.
It's true.
I don't know if there was like a remaster or something that recently came out for that, but the movie looked fine. I was like 1989. This is gonna look like crap.
Right,
But
I'm
I
sure there's
guess
probably a
whatever
4K
remaster.
release, right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of those movies that needs preserved.
Is this
Yeah,
the
it does.
only like Billy Crystal movie that's like? Is he?
Monsters Inc.
Is
Monsters Inc.
okay? Yeah. Monsters,
What's
Inc.
the oh my god. City Slickers?
City
He's in the Princess
Slickers.
Bride.
He's in The Princess Bride.
Yep. Yeah, City Slickers is like big one. Analyze This.
Yeah,
Is another
analyze it.
classic.
Yeah, yeah. Him and De Niro.
Yeah. Analyze
And
This
yeah,
and Analyze That.
analyze that.
Classics. Yeah,
He
I
was very
mean
good.
Billy Crystal's great. City Slickers is one of my favorites. I don't know if he's done too much else besides that though, honestly. Everybody now just knows him as Mike Wazowski, so there's that.
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I don't know. I was gonna say, Craig, did you want me to just get School
Sure.
Spirits out the way since you
Yeah.
have the bulk? So School Spirits. School Spirits originally came out in 2023. I think part of maybe the writer's strike was what set back it not coming out with season 2 in 2024, but it is back for 2025. Just as a general reminder, it's about a girl that it's a not just a coming of age, but it's like kind of like a murder mystery. Girl wakes up in her school, she doesn't know what's going on, and she realizes that she's dead, and she's quite uh she walks around the school as a ghost with other people, other students who were killed in the school for different reasons. So the main premise of the show is trying to figure out how she died, who did it, that type of thing. So first season surrounds that narrative a lot. But they just dropped the first 3 episodes of season 2. This is a pretty good series if you like that type of thing, a whodunit, a murder mystery, but also like it's got kind of a not a Stranger Things with younger people working together, but kinda. I don't know. You really kind of just love the characters and who and what each of them bring to the table because some of the ghosts in there died in different decades. So they kind of have that flair. Like one of the guys is a you remember Thanksgiving, Craig? The movie
Yeah.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So you remember the tall guy who was very angry. He was somebody's boyfriend. I think he was the main character's boyfriend after I'm forgetting its name. Oh, it's gonna kill me. Um, but anyway, he starred in Thanksgiving, but in this he is essentially just a tall football player that died like on the field while he was playing football. So he's always jockey and like dressed like that. So every character has their own nuance, but season 2 kind of opens it up from being mainly in the school, which is what the setting was in the first one, to bringing a couple of different storylines that take it outside of the school. I think all while still explaining around the fact that anybody who died in there has to stay in the school. It's very like if you ever saw the first season of American Horror Story where they couldn't leave the house, same thing. Like you leave, you kind of get transported back. It's a nice one. I recommend this. It's not overly heavy, despite the fact that it is kind of like a Who Murdered Me. And it's if you have something that you're really really into, like like if you're watching The Pit or something like that, I think this is a good 40-minute step back where you kind of have like a medium storyline that's easy to follow but still entertains you because of how the characters interact with one another. So but yeah, School Spirits on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I keep seeing like ads for it. I'm like, I need to watch that. All right. So TV wise, Paradise is on Hulu. First thing I will say about Paradise is number one, don't look anything up about this show. Um, just go watch it. It'll be so much better that way. It's one of those things where like I knew the bare minimum, right? James Marsden, fresh off of Sonic, is the president of the United States. And then he has his personal bodyguard is all I knew about the show. But it's one of those shows where when you get to the very end of the first episode, I literally like it ended and I went, what the hell? It's like one of those movies or TV shows where it has like a huge twist for the rest of the series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so in, and it's such a cool idea, but I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be bare minimum as possible. So just go check that out if you can. There's quite a few episodes up already. Uh, incredibly well done. Incredibly well done. And then 2 movies. Again, we're on the 2025 train here, trying to knock out these January movies. Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. I don't remember if you guys watched the original Den of Thieves at all. I love the original Den of Thieves. It's a heist style
Yeah.
movie with O'Shea Jackson. This is the follow up. O'Shea Jackson, Gerard Butler. At the end of the first one, O'Shea gets away. Gerard Butler is the cop. And then this is Gerard Butler follows him to France where he is performing another heist and helps him out with the heist type of deal. Still entertaining. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but I think it's worth a watch if you enjoyed the first one. And of course, they set it up for more because why wouldn't they? I love O'Shea Jackson. He's like the best.
Right.
He just has like a very cool vibe about him. And Gerard Butler is like one of my guilty pleasures in movies. I don't know why. I just think I don't know. He always plays the same type of dude, right? Like the
Yeah.
cocky, yeah,
Right.
but he does it well.
He does.
So again, it's a mid movie. Definitely mid. But if you haven't seen the first one, definitely go watch the first one because that movie's incredible. And then Companion, which just came out this weekend, from the people who did the movie Barbarian. We all love that movie, right?
Oh heck yeah! Well,
All right.
it's Barry's favorite. It's Barry's favorite. Yes.
Barbarian. Companion. Another one where the less you know, the better. I feel like the trailer gave away more than it should, but it still
Yeah.
works. So if you haven't seen the trailer, basic premise, Jack Quaid from The Boys is going
Yes.
to a house for the weekend with his girlfriend, who is played by Sophie Thatcher. And they're going to spend the weekend with a couple of his friends. The twist here that they put in the trailer, so I feel comfortable saying, is Sophie Thatcher is a robot. She is not a real person. She is Jack Quaid's intimacy robot. Is that the best way to put it? It's
Yeah.
it's his girlfriend. But that's like the base. They put all that out there in the trailer. But this movie goes places, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was hilarious. It's not a horror movie by any means like Barbarian was. It's just kind of a thriller, I guess. A comedy thriller. Has its moments. Where she kind of becomes aware that she's a robot. There's another sub story going on with Jack Quaid's character. I would say yes, 100% check this out. I love that they're like marketing this as a Valentine's Day movie. It makes me laugh. I would not say this is probably a good Valentine's Day movie, but it's a good movie regardless. So
Yeah.
I would say out of all the movies I've watched so far, 2025, this is the top one.
I'm so glad you said that because Leanne and I were very interested in this.
Yeah.
We love Sophie Thatcher
She's great.
from Yellow Jackets.
Yep.
So
And she
like
plays
we're
this perfectly.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Also Jack Quaid, for gosh sakes, you
Jack
know.
Quaid's amazing, and
Yeah, he's on a movie. He's on a good movie run too.
yeah, and him
Right.
getting
And
to
that
play
other-
like the bad guy here is great. I love it. So yeah, check that out, all of you, you included, Barry. You can watch this one.
Okay.
You watch Barbarian, right?
Yes.
Do you know what? Do you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Barry just watched a movie with Meg Ryan, and
Yep.
Craig, you just talked about a movie starring Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid is the only son of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid.
Yep.
I just thought that was funny. I had to say that.
That's Degrees of Kevin Bacon we just played, but
Yeah,
Hey,
right
wow.
there.
with
Huh.
Meg Ryan. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. That's Meg
Small
Ryan's
world.
kid.
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay. I now know.
Mhm.
More I know. Let's see here. Anything else anybody needs to get into?
I don't think so. We wrapped
All
it
right,
up.
everyone. Yeah, everyone's gonna get a nice little shorter episode. You know, there not much went on this week, to be
No.
fair. So we're all waiting for the next Switch announcement stuff. We're all waiting for a PlayStation. We're all waiting for Xbox to.
Right.
And Xbox just recently did their stuff, so we're getting there. We're gonna have Avowed in the next couple weeks. I know we're gonna have Monster Hunter Wilds at the end of this month as well. So, you know, everyone, and take a chill pill this week. You know, everyone just
Yep.
calm down, get through your backlog. Is what you should try to do. I know that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to tackle as well.
Yes.
So, I want to thank everyone for listening. If you are listening on your podcast listening platform of choice, please make sure to leave a review, share it on your social media, or share it with a friend if you feel so inclined. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe. I do want to thank people who supported me on my personal Facebook page. I got a couple subscribers out of people doing that, so I know they're
Let's
just here to support me.
go.
I just want to thank those individuals for doing so and sharing the podcast. Again, we do this for fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And hopefully you guys learn some stuff or find, have fun with it as well. Let me know, what you guys think of it. We'd appreciate any feedback we get. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their week here as we continue along these very cold months here at State College. Hopefully you're listening somewhere warmer. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.